like
I mean,
that
we'd have like
to worry about.
a 23-11 strike. I was going to joke earlier, but I knew it would rustle some feathers. I was going to be like, 23-11, dude, they're going to be the most highly funded Xfinity team next year.
Are we back? Are we live?
There's green lines.
Oh, we're back. I got the alert.
Is it the same video or is it a new one?
No, it's going to be a new one.
Damn, dude, we had so many people.
God, that sucks. This happened to Topics a couple weeks ago, too, and now this is 2 weeks in a row for us, so something's going on with that computoire.
No. Monica.
That's the old one.
Great. Now we're back to the new video, and there's only one listener.
It's you, isn't it?
It's me.
Sorry, guys. We are going through some technical difficulties. Oh, 2 watching. I'm back.
Mine only says Juan.
Yeah, mine says 1, but people are commenting, so I don't know.
I see 5 different people commenting.
Oh, what a stupid system.
What does this wire
Where
do?
did Kyle? Oh, you went to the back. I was like, where'd he go?
What is this guy's weird name?
We're back.
Tyler Von Otterloo?
Oh, that's Tyler V5, I think.
Sorry for doxing you. That name is great.
All right. Well, we'll see how this all shakes out. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to report on this as things continue. But anyway, let's get back to some racing, shall we?
Guess so.
Can we skip the truck race?
Yeah,
No.
pretty much.
No.
Talladega weekend. We
Talladega.
kicked things off with the old truck race, starting out with the Love's RV Stop 225. Finally, a halfway decent name. Good race overall. Swalich led the field to green alongside Ben Rhodes, but Ben Rhodes did not have a good day. Got a penalty for jumping the start and then got a blending violation, so rough for him. But yeah, first stage won by Matt Mills. Then Mr. Grant Enfinger takes the second stage. Had a couple wallop of hits during that race. Oof. Stephen Parsons got into it with Jake Garcia going into one. Early second stage. Final stage, I should say. Sent him into Lane Riggs. They stack up the field. Ankrum's involved, Taylor Gray's involved, Thompson, Matt Mills, Tanner Gray, Connor Zilich, all involved in that one. Towards the end of the race, we got Sanchez trying to block both lanes, ends up getting sideways, getting into 3 after I think Eckes got into the back of him, slides up the track and collects a bunch of cars again there. But Grant Enfinger...
I would like to speak about before you get to the end. I forget which wreck it was. Keith McGee, learn where the brake pedal is.
Yep.
That was egregious.
Well, it might be in a different spot because that was not the truck he practiced and qualified in.
Yeah, somebody else practiced qualified that truck, and then I don't know if he paid or something or whatever. But
they driver swapped whatever truck he was supposed to be in, didn't qualify for the race. I don't know if they had a mechanical issue because of the 28 FDNY car out qualified you. You shouldn't be in the race to begin with. So they obviously probably had like a mechanical issue that made them miss qualifying or miss tech or something like that. So he swapped and pretty much bought his way into the new truck, the 28 truck.
Yeah.
And then he was 15 seconds behind the pack, and he waited a good 35 seconds before he even thought about hitting the brake pedal.
Like, that was egregiously bad.
Yeah. But Grant Enfinger ultimately takes the checkered flag as everyone's wrecking behind him, locking himself in to the Final Four and getting CR7 their first win. So kudos to them.
In an Oldsmobile.
And him. In an Oldsmobile. That's right.
That's the most surprising part.
Yeah. So Grant Enfinger takes a checkered flag, followed by Taylor Gray, Daniel Dye, Raja Caruth, and Lawless Allen, your top 5. Christian Eckes, Ryan Reed, Stephen Parsons, Brett Holmes, and Spencer Boyd, your top 10. So Grant Enfinger, as I mentioned, locks himself into the Final Four. Looking at the point standings, we got Corey Heim behind him with 30 points to the good. Christian Eckes, 29. And then at the cut line, we have Ty Majeski 5 up. Below the cut line, Raja Caruth 5 points behind. Taylor Gray is 13 behind. Nick Sanchez 20 behind. Tyler Ankrum 23 points behind. Next time we see the trucks is not for 3 weeks at Homestead for their second race of the round of 8. And then Martinsville will decide the final 4. And then obviously off to Phoenix.
Yippee.
Xfinity United Rentals 250 at Talladega. Solid race overall, I would say. What do you think?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, the Xfinity cars, they just race Talladega better because they're out of shape and they actually get affected by air.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed this race.
Yeah.
It was a little crazy at times, so it made it for a good TV.
Yeah. Chandler Smith takes the first stage, followed by Dinger, Allgaier, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, Fast Pasta, Taylor Gray, Cole Custer, Dean Thompson, and Sammy Smith. Your points getters in the first stage. Norm's boy, Mr. Austin Hill, took the second stage. Had a couple big ones after that in the final stage. SVG was down low, lap 76. Got checked up, moved down to the apron, which I thought was a smart move. But then that didn't pan out too well.
Yeah, so SVG coming off turn 4, pretty much, he kind of faded up a lane and a half off the corner.
Yep.
And I think it was the 26 right behind him.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Kind of went to fill the hole, and SVG faded back down to be like, oh, fuck, I didn't mean to, he got arrow tight or something off the corner, faded up, went to cut back down and kind of hooked himself off the nose of the 26. Great job not spinning out.
And he was on the
And
apron.
he stayed on the apron, and you could keep speed.
Everything was going to be fine.
But unfortunately, I think the 26 might have panicked
He checked up.
because he thought the 97 was going to cut back up onto the track. So he's like, oh, fuck, I better check up so he doesn't turn right into me.
Yeah.
And that kind of stacked everybody
He
up.
stacked
behind
that
him.
whole bottom lineup, and when that happened, he got turned off the nose of, I forget who turned him, was behind him.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. He got that whole bottom lane got stacked up, so the 26 got turned. He went down and clipped SVG, who I feel bad for because he made a great save and thought he was going to be fine.
He made a great save and made a smart move by
didn't-
getting out of line and moved down, which, like Norm said, probably scared the rest of them.
Yes.
Because I guess they probably just don't expect someone to make the right move by getting out of there. Which kudos to SVG, like Norm said. He got loose, definitely was losing momentum, got out of the way, got down to the apron, and was probably going to get passed by 15, 20 cars had the 26
But he was
not
going to be
got-
able to blend back into the pack and live to
Right.
fight another day.
Right.
And then it just, all chaos broke loose on that one.
Whole bunch of cars collected. Taylor Gray, Josh Williams, Austin Hill, Jordan Anderson, David Starr. Whole bunch of people involved in that one.
SVG was going to take a scary lick into the outside
I'm
wall.
so happy that those cars
Thank
were
God
outside.
they were 3-4 wide going through the trial oval because there was, I think Austin Hill took the brunt of it, but there were some cars that cushioned his blow into
He
the
was
outside
going to hit
wall.
that wall at a 90-degree angle. I don't know,
Yeah.
safer barriers or not, that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We had another big one when Carson Quapple got loose. I think off the nose of Brandon Jones, I want to say it was.
Yes, it
some
was.
aggressive pushing. I think the 88 was kind of getting manhandled by the air in the middle right there.
he was
it's
he was
his
out of
first,
shape.
I think it's his first ever
It was.
plate race.
It was.
Obviously, he's just trying to get as much
Experience.
experience. That's the word. Oh my
You all
God.
right?
I was looking for attention. I was like, attention. That's not the word.
Norm just had a stroke.
You're looking
He's
for
live
attention?
on
We
air.
know. You always
Yeah.
want the attention. Pay attention to
Look
me.
at
I'm
me,
regular
bitch.
season champ.
It's about to be fucking full season champ. Wow. Obviously, he's trying to get as much experience as he can because he's going full time next year. So, congrats to that. I think we kind of announced that earlier.
We announced it.
Yeah.
Nobody else knew about it.
Yeah. Surprise, bitch.
You all right over there, Bill?
Oh my God. I just lost my entire brain. But unfortunate for Carson Quapple, he had all of JRM behind him. So it was going to happen no matter what. He ends up getting turned off the front end of the 9 car, collects 4 out of the 5 JRM cars in this
Yeah,
wreck.
Dale Jr.'s wallet screamed in agony.
Sure did.
As it usually does at these.
Dale Jr.'s looking at
Although-
he's like, Sammy Smith's my only hope.
Although
we're screwed.
It was great on DVC. TJ was like, yeah, but we can do that at Bristol too. He's like, we're really good at doing that anywhere, just taking each other out.
Yeah. So ultimately, that brings out a red flag for a while. We have a overtime restart. Overtime, green white checker.
There were also that wreck. There were also some pretty bad ARCA brakes in that thing too.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It seemed to be running rampant this weekend. We even saw it in the Cup race.
Yep. So ultimately, Sammy Smith does take the checkered flag over Riley Herbst.
From coming into this race, he was 12th in the playoff standings in dead last. He has now punched his ticket to the next round.
Did he do that?
Yep.
Because I didn't hear about that once on Sunday.
Yep. Yep.
My
Sure
God,
did.
if it isn't the trial oval, isn't where the start-finish line is.
Dude.
And Sammy Smith went from 12th to 1st in the points in one race. I don't know what they could have talked about the entire race.
But that big Quapple wreck definitely helped SVG because he was
absolutely.
like 18 points out or something like that and ended 10 points out.
Well, the Quapple wreck and then what happened about an hour after the Xfinity race also helped SVG.
That helped too.
Because
yes.
when the race was over, he was still like, I think 17, 18, 19 points down. So he was farther than comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Justin Allgaier, obviously, he was in the Quapple wreck.
Yep.
I mean, how much can you shoot yourself in the foot?
Dude, he went from championship favorite to like might not make the next round.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
So
Just mercy kill this dude.
about an hour after the race, it comes out that Mr. Sam Mayer Sam Mayer's one car was too low in the rear.
So do we now call him Stance Boy Sam Mayer or something?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So he was DQ'd. So that shuffled everything up. Because, I mean, we were all talking about it on Discord at the end of the race. We're like, oh, you got Dinger and SVG all below the cut line. Like, next week's going to be an absolute throwdown on a road course. And now AJ's above the cut line.
Mm-hmm.
And SVG's just below it. Same with Allgaier. So yeah, that
We'll
shook
see.
that Sam Mayer disqualification shook things up, and it did come out right as we started. I saw somebody post it in Discord that JRM is appealing.
Yeah.
Good.
So my question is they better get to that like
Now
because
Yeah.
what happens if they don't get to it before the Roval,
they will.
and then like say they win the appeal? Huh?
Yeah.
Like how would that work with the points?
Yeah, we'll see.
Luckily, NASCAR has nothing else going on that they're
They're
focusing
not
on,
busy.
So.
No, not at all. Taking a look at the playoff standings for the Xfinity Series, Sammy Smith obviously punches his ticket to the next round. Chandler Smith in real good shape with 64 points to the
I think
good.
he's technically locked.
Yes, Chandler,
Yeah,
after
that's
the
right. I
after
think
the
they said
after the
disqualification.
DQ.
I think they said 56 points, and he
Yeah,
walks
so
into the next
after
round.
he was not locked in at the checkered flag, but after the Sam Mayer disqualification, it moved him up enough that he is locked in on points now. He will be moving on to the next round.
Even if the appeal doesn't, it goes their way, I mean, he's still in really good shape that far up. Cole Custer is 37 points to the good, as well as
Probably
Austin
fine.
Hill
Probably fine.
in good shape there. Sheldon Creed, 32 up. Jesse Love, 22.
Getting a little hairier.
Riley Herbst, 20 points to the good.
Can lose that
Yep.
easily.
And then Dinger is the last above the cut line, 7 points up. And then we look below the cut line. We have Allgaier 7 behind, SVG 10 behind, Sam Mayer as it stands 13 behind, and PK 16 behind.
So
the
now
cut line.
I was wondering this when I was thinking about this today on the way down here. What do those cars around the cut line do? That's kind of the crazy thing with the Roval is it's like, do you go
Your
for
points
points?
Yeah, I
or,
mean, AJ and SVG could each get 19 points.
yeah.
For stages. I mean, they could finish 1-2 in reverse order for both stages, no problem, those two guys.
Yeah.
AJ, it's tough with AJ. He has the points race, but he's so good at the Roval. It's almost like, just let him go, dude. Let him go win this.
That's what I mean. Like, you got SVG and the Dinger. Like, obviously, Allgaier is probably going to be points racing. I don't.
Yeah, but I feel like Allgaier being surrounded by SVG and AJ, you kind of got to think you must win.
That's it's a really interesting cut line in the Xfinity Series going.
I
to
think
Roval.
Allgaier's strategy changes depending on what AJ and SVG do that first stage.
Probably.
Yeah.
If he's riding around in 7th place in the first stage and 1 and 2 shoot off into the pits with 2 to green or 2 to go, then Allgaier now changes to, okay, I'm stage racing.
Yeah.
If they stay out, get points, Allgaier now needs to go, or I need to freaking win this race.
You're probably right.
Right.
But I think having if let's say Dinger and SVG are not locked in, but let's say they're 20 points to the good, this isn't nearly as interesting. I think having those two guys and Allgaier, who's good at road courses, right around each other at the cut line makes the Xfinity race like must watch next week.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the way the points, there's a pretty good gap at the cut line in the Cup Series, so I don't know if the Roval will be too much of a shakeup. We'll see, but the Xfinity race is going to be must
be
watch
bananas.
TV on Saturday.
Everybody below the cut line
if you
in the
can watch
Xfinity
it.
Series.
Yeah, we won't be able to watch it on TV.
No, there's a big TV on the backstretch. Did you get that email from Charlotte today?
Oh, good.
They put one of the big Haas-looking things on the backstretch.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I guess we'll have a TV and the race live.
The crazy thing about the Xfinity Series, though, is everybody in the bottom half of the round of 12 right now is good at plate racing. PK,
Road courses.
What I say, plate?
Plate racing.
You said plate.
Road courses. PK could steal a road course win.
Yep.
AJ, SVG, Allgaier,
Yep.
all good road
Sammy
course
Smith.
drivers.
Or not Sammy, Sam Mayer.
Sam Mayer, all good road course drivers.
Yeah.
So I feel like the guys above the cut line, Riley Herbst, who's right above him?
I don't know. He just read it out.
Who was like 22 up?
Creed?
No,
Creed
Jesse
was in the
Love.
third. Jesse Love.
Jesse Love, Sheldon Creed, those guys are all in danger. Sheldon Creed, good road racer, But those guys, I think a 20-plus point cushion in the Cup Series is a lot more comfortable than a 20-plus point cushion in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah.
I mean, SVG and AJ could go out there, finish freaking 9th and 10th, and get 50 points apiece.
Yep.
They could win, like I said, both stages.
The thing is with Dinger and SVG, especially Dinger, because he's so good here, there's a chance he could go he could go points racing.
Yeah.
He could go points racing and still drive through the field and win the goddamn race. Right. Like he could easily do it.
I mean, they could finish.
They both could.
They both could.
They could finish 9th and 10th and both collect 50 points.
Look at
So, I mean, they could points race and probably, I'd say easily, but like arguably easily make
look
the
at
way
Watkins Glen. What was SVG at one point? He was like a second faster than everybody else. Like
Yeah.
you put these guys on a road course, it's this flipping of stages could mean nothing.
And I don't think the 88's running this weekend.
I don't think so. No, he said he wasn't running the Roval because he didn't want to because he's already good at road courses, and he was like, "I need."
Yeah, he's running Homestead.
He's running Homestead. He's like, "I need more experience on ovals."
Yeah.
So, I mean, AJ and SVG, I think, can easily points their way in.
Yep.
Allgaier, I think, has to be looking at win.
He has to be looking at, like you said, do the opposite of what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
We'll
It's
see
going to be
how
a
it shakes
hell
out.
of a race.
It's going to be a good day.
Yep.
That's going to be a
It's
good
going to
day
really
for
upset
us.
the apple cart when we win with Brad.
Hell yeah, baby.
Imagine. Just think about that for a second.
Oh my God. I will be blacked out within an hour.
I can't wait.
Well, even if he doesn't win.
I'm going to be blacked out within 2 hours.
This Xfinity race is going to be crazy because the Cup guys, I mean, they proved it at Talladega. They're too smart
They are.
to have crazy, exciting races. Xfinity guys, it's going to be a crazy, exciting race.
Yep, I think it. And with that new, I don't know if we talked about it last week or previous weeks, but the new corners are going to be.
I was just looking at it. It's going to cut like 30 seconds off a lap.
It is, but Denny was talking about on his show. Apparently, when you go through like 5 and 6 now,
Jared, the throttle is still pinned on the 28 truck
Yeah.
during this.
Jared does not like him. Jared does not
was
like
good.
him
That
for
was good.
reasons, and I understand. But Denny was saying, I guess the new like 5-6 complex is kind of blind and like over a hill. He said in the simulator the cars come off the ground.
Yeah.
Like he goes, we always joked that like that Marcus Smith and SMI would put a jump in at one of these tracks, and they actually did it. He said it gets super light
That's
going
awesome.
up over that hill. He's like, I don't think the cars are actually going to jump it, but he goes, it's going to feel like it.
We'll see. We'll see how it
We're
shakes
going to
out.
have a great view of it.
All right. The old Yellowwood 500. What'd you think overall?
I think it looked great on TV, but knowing what was happening makes it boring to me.
Go on. Expand.
Go ahead.
So, 4 wide, the entire length of the field looks great. Ross Chastain, AJ Allmendinger, even Alex Bowman for a little while up there seemingly blocking 4 lanes is super cool until you realize that these guys are all driving around at 60% throttle and it's just a freaking parade procession
Okay.
going down the track.
Yep.
Can I have my turn on the floor? I've been thinking about this.
Dan,
Thank you, sir.
please raise your hand. Mr.
I'll
Walker.
raise my hand.
Thank you. My problem with this, and this is what everybody's been bitching about, and all of the podcasts, the DBCs, Denny's show, the ones I've listened to, they're all, it's all fuel mileage racing now. Yeah, it looks cool on TV, but are we actually racing? I miss the Gen 6 cars, and the Xfinity cars put on a better race. Does everybody forget what Talladega looked like in the Gen 6 car?
Yes. Clearly
Does
they do.
every single person forget what those races were? Everybody went to the top, and we would watch 150 laps of nose-to-tail freight train where everybody was afraid to move out of line. No one could do anything, and then with 2 to go, everybody would freak out and make passes.
Yep.
How the fuck is this any different than that?
It's not.
How? People are, oh, I miss the Xfinity, or they should run the Xfinity cars. They'll do the same fucking thing they used to do. There'll be 2-3 laps of side-by-side racing. Everybody will filter to the top. Remember, who was it? There was one year, I think it was Chase, kept trying to go out because he's like, guys, let's do something. And no one would move because if you moved out of line, you got shipped to the back. I would much rather watch them 4x4 at 192 miles an hour because at least something could happen.
Yeah.
If somebody makes a mistake, I'm not saying I watch for crashes, but if somebody makes a mistake when you're 4 wide, it's going to create a problem, whether that be a wreck or people get checked up or mixed up or whatever. But when you are in the top lane running, again, back then they used to run half fucking throttle because they were all saving fuel. There is zero chance of anything happening when you are running first through 40th on the top in a line.
Yep.
This is way fucking better than that, and you will not change my opinion.
I agree with you
All
wholeheartedly.
of the racing purists that are, this isn't racing, they're just riding, this, blah, 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 blah. I would much rather watch them 4 wide at 190 miles an hour than up top at 10 miles an hour faster, maybe.
I agree with you. I think the running, just running Talladega, 4 by 10 rows deep,
Fucking 20 laps.
Was wildly impressive to watch. And I think this is better because you're running 4 wide, you're saving fuel, and then you just slowly watch that intensity build.
Yes.
Like you weren't watching live. We were all in the Discord, and I'm watching. I have my iPad running with all the
lineup
shit running, the whatever numbers and shit,
timing and scoring,
and I'm watching speed. They're coming off a 184, going down the backstretch 185, 186 into the turn 183, 184, and then it's 187 off a 2. And then it's 188 off of 2. And then it's 199 down the backstretch. And then I was like, boom, 201. There it is. They're just slowly building. And then the intensity grows. And we were in the Discord going, I'm getting anxious.
Well, and that's the thing is you don't even need the timing and scoring. I love how NBC has the mile per hour of the leader on the pylon at all times.
Yeah.
Because I was watching the exact same thing. I knew what I was watching without having to see any lap times or anything, because if they were going into turn 3 at 192, I'm like, they're saving fuel. When shit hit the when it was time to go, like you said, they were going into turn 3 at 201, and that's instantly I knew. I'm like, all right, we're rolling now. But like I would just, like I said, there's the potential for something to happen when they're 3 and 4 wide. I used to hate that freight train at the top because it was just boring. It was you knew nothing was going to happen. No one was going to pull out until 2 to go in a stage or whatever in a race. It was just painfully boring. And I mean, I get what people are complaining about. I understand, but I would much rather watch what I want, because I was, excuse me, I wasn't like edge of my seat all day, the whole race, but I was wildly entertained the whole race. I remember falling asleep during Dega races in the Gen 6 era when they would get the top line freight train, because you knew nothing was going to happen outside of something happening on a green flag.
Yeah, there was every once in a while that one driver that would just time it just right to dive down, get a pass, sneak back up in line.
And everybody's like, you can't pass in these. No one can make a run. I miss the gens. We need the old cars back. The old cars, I think, were worse. I think they were more boring.
Yeah, and I'm not comparing this when I say that it's just annoying watching these guys drive around at 50% throttle. I'm not comparing it to any other generation. It's just
I'm not saying you did.
Every single other track we go to, Kyle Larson gets out. I just ran 500 qualifying laps.
Yeah.
I just went out there and I could run full bore, 110% all day, and that's what I did. And then we go to Talladega, Daytona, even Atlanta, these tracks that are supposed to be exciting tracks, and then they get out. Joe Logano says, I didn't do shit all day. I rode around at half throttle all day and just sat there.
I get it, and I completely understand where they're coming. I see both sides of it, but
and then
I'm
we
just
get
like...
we get to the end of the race, and we just watch them run 4 wide for 3/4 of this race.
They can't handle
get
2.
To the end, and when they're actually trying, you can't get a third lane.
Yeah. No, and I understand, but like I said, it's all about, for me as a fan, I'm not talking a driver, I'm not talking a spotter, whatever. I enjoyed watching it.
I did too.
Somebody in Discord, I forget who it was yesterday, said it's all about, when NASCAR waters down the product, you don't know what good racing is anymore. And you know what? I still, like I said, I remember those single file freight trains, and that
nothing's worse than the conveyor belt single file.
That sucked.
How about Suarez just being an idiot at the beginning,
huh? What the fuck was that? Like, I sat there last night watching it. I'm like, what was his play here?
They're like, he blends in front of BJ. I'm like, he didn't blend in front of BJ.
He blended
into his front fender.
Denny said on his show that there was what people were wondering, did his spotter tell him to get up? His spotter was silent. That was all on Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about using cameras, but it's just like your desperation on lap frickin' 12. You're the only car even remotely close to a lap down.
He blends into that pack. He's going to get his lap back at the stage end. His race is completely different.
He would have got that lap back real soon.
And it, at very least, the stage end, because there was nobody else in danger of going a lap down. And if they were, he would be in the lead pack and be blowing by them like the pack did to him. He was
so stupid. That was stupid.
BJ was going easily 15 to 20 miles an hour faster than him.
Oh, yeah.
There was a 2-car length opening there. He had room if he was going a little bit faster. But he just blends up into BJ's corner. I mean,
and it's not even like,
and it's a miracle he didn't take anybody else with him.
It's not even like
I thought
BJ,
Byron was porked.
Yeah.
It's not even like BJ was right around in 40th place. BJ was in like the high 20s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was plenty of cars behind him.
He was 10 rows back in the top line.
He split the pack, which was 3 wide.
Which was dumb.
So they were already going to have to pack air on him. He was going to merge in, not last.
Yep.
Even if he did shoot out the back last, they're 3 wide in front
But
of
they're
you.
not
There's
even
plenty of air.
He wasn't even going to be last because there was already cars hanging back off the pack. He was going to get hooked up with one of them and be fine. I will never understand his reasoning. Whatever, I don't know if he ever gave one, but
if it worked, yeah, good, cool, good for you, dude. But like, you didn't need
to do that.
There is so much more race left.
Yep.
For you to throw a Hail Mary
What was it?
block
12
trying to
laps
stay
in?
Say
13.
a lap down.
Yeah, insane. This
Yeah.
unbelievably boneheaded move on his part.
Yeah, you were 15 laps away from green flag pits.
Yep.
Yeah, not much else to talk about first stage other than Chris Buescher taking the green and white checker there.
Well, and the crazy, that's where the 4 wide started. I mean, we were 20 laps of 4 wide in stage 1. The hell was that?
My phone.
Oh, your phone.
Some sort of
sounded
buzzer.
way louder than that.
It's NASCAR. They found us.
Oh, God. They found his work phone. Anything good?
No.
You're a millionaire.
I wish.
But the
We heard what you said. You no longer have press passes.
I'm waiting for the email now. Oh, no.
You're fired.
Yeah, no, the stage 1 was exciting because, like you said, you could feel your heart rate rising. Like, you got a little anxious there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
then-
it's nerve wracking. And I commented on Discord. Me and Kyle were going back and forth, and everybody in there, and it was like these are the few races a year where I hate having favorites.
Yes.
If I could just watch this as just a fan of the sport, oh my God, I would eat this up.
Oh, dude, I
But watching this going like, oh, I want the 48 to do good. He's fighting for points. Oh, I want Corey to do good in the 51.
Yeah.
Oh, I want Kyle Larson to do good. He's always bad here. Watching that and your favorite driver is 4 rows back in the 3rd lane out of 4.
yeah.
You're like, I don't want to watch this. It is
Yeah.
too stressful. Somebody's going to get loose, even though I don't think they physically could with this, how slow they were going. Like, something could happen anywhere. And
We heard the door open.
It's Blake.
Hey, Blake.
Hi, Blake.
Papa,
It was like I definitely just heard a door open. Yeah.
The infamous Blake Hathaway in the building. I love you.
That scared me because the door opened and I'm like, oh,
Just heard the creak.
are we getting robbed?
it's ghosts.
Love you.
Yeah, I mean that's about it there.
But it's super speedways are the only I love. You know, stage racing is what it is, but like it works at super speedways. I love that feeling of you get the white flag in the stage, they're fucking 3 wide, everyone's making stupid moves, and nothing happens. Like nobody wrecks. When they come across the line and you can like exhale and like you feel your heart rate coming down, you're like,
God.
all right, we're good. We made it. We made it, boys. Like
for sure. Let's talk about the end of stage 2.
Real quick, before we get to the end of stage 2, biggest bummer of stage 1, Alex Bowman. The streak ends.
the streak ended.
no.
He was
He
in
finishes
position too.
11th, I think, in
He
stage
was
1.
I mean, coming through the tri-oval, he was like 5th.
Yeah.
And I just think he drafty car picked the wrong lane and they just went right around him.
Yep.
Because I'm sitting, that was the only time
He
I've
was
ever
like 4 wide for 9th coming across the line.
The
That
more
is
I play
the-
drafty car, the more I appreciate drafty tracks.
Yes. That is probably the most attention I have ever paid to when the stage they do 1 through 5 and then it flips.
Oh, and
it-
they sat on the
They
top
did.
5 for like 3 minutes. I was like, show me 10th.
and then as soon as they flipped it and I watched it and it was in like slow motion, 6, 7,
I'm
8,
like,
9,
1 point.
10. Damn it.
1 point is not going to change his season, but it's a talking point.
It's a cool thing to talk about that he's gotten points in every single stage. And
I was like, no.
Bummer. End of stage 2. Norm, go.
So, end of stage 2. Ryan Blaney is pushing, I believe, Austin Cindric, and they are 2 wide currently. Coming into the tri-oval, they get split 3 wide. Ryan Blaney and Austin Cindric are on the high line. Bottom line stays solid. Top line, the 3rd place car on the top line jumps to the top. I don't remember specifically who that car was, but they jump to the top, pretty much leaving Cindric and Ryan Blaney to fend for themselves in the middle. and Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson stuck it out in the middle lane because now they have, a 4-car gap to the 12 car to gain positions. So they come charging up the middle. Meanwhile, the 12, Ryan Blaney, and the 2 are losing momentum because they're getting split on both sides. And this is where the Alex Bowman drove right through me comments from Ryan Blaney came from. Ryan Blaney was just in no air hell in the middle. And Alex Bowman and Larson and however many cars were behind him come charging up the middle. And Alex Bowman gets in the back of Blaney, and Blaney just hooks and just spins coming across the line. I think Blaney still came across the line 8th sideways. His car was totaled. Ross Chastain got a bunch of damage in it. It wrecked a couple cars, but it was one of those things where this is getting a lot of attention, and Ryan Blaney was very colorful in his post-race interviews, and I don't know what else he expected Alex Bowman to do there.
There's nothing he could have done.
Yeah,
If Bowman lifted, Bowman's getting run over.
Yeah. He had Larson on his bumper.
The head of steam was coming. There was nothing Bowman could do. He was along for the ride holding on.
Yeah. I don't have SMT. I don't have access to that.
You don't? I do.
But I'm willing to bet that Alex Bowman probably wasn't even on the throttle when he hit Ryan Blaney.
We see this later in the other wreck.
Yeah.
The push comes from 3 cars back.
Or more.
And when you're in the front and you got a gap to the car in front of you, there is nothing you can do. It's like having your throttle stick.
And they were, Alex Bowman, in my opinion, did everything right. They were in the middle, 3 wide. I'm pretty sure they were already on the straight part of the track. I think they were already off the banking of the tri-oval.
They were just off of it.
Alex hit him dead center straight. He wasn't off to one side. He wasn't trying to pass him, pull any moves. He hit him.
He didn't Brad Keselowski him. He got him straight.
Oh, yeah. He hit him as straight as he could. And Blaney, honestly, I think before Bowman even hit him was going to spin. I think just
he was out of shape.
I think just the air from the front of Bowman's car coming up behind him was already kicking him sideways before Bowman gave him that tap.
Yep.
And Bowman obviously had led off. Larson was now connected to him when they made contact with Blaney. So, for Ryan Blaney to come out and say, yeah, he just drove through me. It's like, first of all, you're 100 yards away from the end of the stage. You should be mad at the 4 people behind you that just ditched you and left you no air. You got put in a bad spot, and unfortunately, at a drafting track, when your line splits, there's a bunch of people behind you coming through.
Yep.
And we see this at the end of stages all the time, and I understand the consequences of it, but I just don't see how you can just get mad at one car.
Well, Blaney's biggest problem is that I picked him.
Yep, that's fair.
I would like to send my not sincerest apologies to Mr. Joe Sullivan and Jet Daly, which is how I knew.
Yeah, but I don't believe in the Dan curse anymore because you went on a fairly strong streak. If anything, I had it.
So I was not watching live, as Kyle said
Did you
earlier.
win last week?
Yeah, I didn't win for 2 months.
You won to Glenn.
So
2 points.
So I wasn't watching live, but I knew something happened to Blaney because my phone lit up, and I wasn't looking at what the messages said. But when I saw I got 2 texts from Jet. This was 2 hours after the race started, so I knew the race wasn't over. So I knew it wasn't like, hey, you won. I got 2 texts from Jet Daily, and I got a text from you in our group chat. And I looked at Steph. I went, well, something happened to Blaney. We were driving home with the boat.
I texted Dan, and I was like, because he had gone dark, so he forgot to put up the race picks, and I don't know what Kyle was doing. I don't have access to it. You can't blame me.
They were up.
I just make the graphics. They were not up at that time.
I put them up 30 seconds after you texted me.
Oh.
Okay. Which was
but I texted Dan, and I was like, now would be an appropriate time to put up race picks.
Yeah.
Because there have been, I'd say, probably 6 occasions this year.
Literally 5 seconds before you sent that, Jet sent me 2.
Yeah, I wasn't, because I knew you weren't watching the race, so I wasn't going to be like, Blaney crashed, idiot. I was just like, now would be a good time to put up race picks because there have been, like I said, 5 or 6 occasions this year where Dan or Kyle, whoever puts them up after Dan's pick has already crashed out of the race.
It's true. But we were driving home and it popped up on CarPlay, Jet Daily, because I don't have it, it doesn't show the message, but it was like Jet Daily, Norm Pelletier, and Steph's like, what the hell? I'm like, that means Ryan Blaney just crashed. So yeah, fast forward a couple hours later, I'm watching it on TV and I go, and there it is.
Yep.
Dude, you're going to have all New Zealand after you this week.
Yeah.
I got, Joe's in the chat right now. Jet has already threatened to burn my house down multiple times. And Joe just goes, "Don't worry about the black smoke coincidentally coming from the direction of your house."
All right, so ultimately that gave the stage win to Mr. Austin Cindric.
My boy.
Good news, guys. I can't pick him anymore for the rest of the season, so Blaney's going to win the championship now.
Followed
We're actually,
by
because you're so far out, we're opening up all your picks.
Hell yeah, I'm going to pick Ryan Blaney every week.
we should.
Just
No.
give him carte blanche, dude.
No, it's fine.
It's kind of fun.
I was going to give him like 10 picks for 1 week. And however many of his drivers beat one of our drivers.
What is this, Panera? You pick 2?
Yeah. Is this a lunch deal? I like your idea, though.
$5
Give me like,
biggie bag, Dan. Who
give
do
me
you
like
want?
5 picks, and then if any of however many beat you guys, I get a point for each one. Make that line real interesting.
No,
Where can
I
we
want to
do
win
that?
this fair and square.
No,
dude.
yeah, no, it's fine. Don't do that.
We have a very
We could do that at
intense battle.
Phoenix. At Phoenix, give Dan the amount of points that he needs to tie.
Like double or nothing for Dan. Dan's double
At
down.
Phoenix, Dan gets 10. He gets
But if
We
I don't,
give, him,
but
we give him the old 2 donut Dave special at Phoenix. Dude.
the double or nothing weekend.
I love it. All right. Austin Cindric wins the second stage, followed by Elliott, Busch, SVG, who was up front a lot of the day.
He led
both
for a little,
races.
both
Yeah.
races, but I think Norm said it during the Xfinity race in Discord. It's been so cool to watch his progression because we watched him when we went to Daytona. Excuse me. He was in the ARCA race, which he got wrecked out pretty early, but there was no pushing. Same with the 500. We watched him live. Like there wasn't any pushing. He was just kind of riding.
Yeah, he would just kind of pick a lane and just go wherever that lane goes and just follow the lead.
But now, like this weekend, watching him, he looked like a seasoned veteran. Like, he was making big pushes.
People were working with him.
all the colleague cars were
People
too,
trust
so
him.
he had
I
strong
noticed
teammates.
already.
I noticed in the Cup race, they were very quick to like spit Cody Ware out. And there was somebody else up there too. I forget who it was. There was another car that got spit out real fast. They didn't do that to SVG. They stayed with him, and he was making good pushes. He was really good. I mean, what was it?
I mean, he pushed Chase Elliott
Chase.
to that stage.
That was so
and
cool
he
that-
was asking his spotter to talk to his spotter, be like, hey, ask him what he wants me to do
I
differently.
loved that NBC played that radio. It was so cool that Chase was like, I love what he's doing. Just tell him not to get on my right rear, but keep the pushes coming. Like, it's so cool to watch his progression in how timid he was at like Daytona and the first Talladega. And now he's up there looking like he's been doing this for years.
They always say, like, takes up to 100 races to really get it.
Yeah.
Guy's been in like 12, and he's up there, and if people already
I mean,
trust him.
collectively, he's probably nearing 40.
I'm talking the
between-
Cup car.
Yeah, between Cup, Xfinity, ARCA, his one truck start,
Yeah.
he probably has 40 NASCAR starts.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
And he's battling for the championship in the Xfinity Series.
Yep.
He is looking stronger every Cup race he goes to.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for next year. I love SVG, dude. I'm super sad that I don't get to see him kick a kickball in person this week.
Yeah, you will.
Are we flying out early?
Oh, kickball. I'm thinking when he kicks his rugby ball into the
Oh,
we're
the
catching that
kickball.
shit.
stands. We're catching that. Well, we're up really high, so I don't think we're going to catch that.
Oh,
But
we're
he's got a boot. He's
We're
got a
moving.
boot.
We're moving.
Yep.
Yeah, Xfinity race, we could say wherever we
Bro, he's going to win. He's going to kick that in both races.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
Doing an SVG double down.
All right, to
Dude,
wrap,
Charlotte,
wrap it
he's
up.
bouncing it off the press box.
Byron Bowman, Wallace, Blaney,
Off the
Larson,
windows.
Chastain, your points getters in the second stage. Last stage, really just got to talk about the big one.
That's really all that happened. I mean, we were kind of just rolling around for a while
Yep. The largest wreck
in the modern era.
in the modern era.
Which is, everyone's been arguing it. There's been people thinking this other race had more. I've originally heard 28 were involved. Then, like, Denny's podcast said 25 were
I think
involved.
28 is the official number.
That's what I thought.
I think
yeah.
there were 25 cars stuck on the infield.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think 3 drove away.
Just an,
So, I mean,
it was very similar to the Blaney wreck where Cindric got out. People were kind of blaming Gilliland, so they were lapping Todd Gilliland.
I think it all started with Gilliland because Gilliland was good.
He did nothing
He
wrong.
did nothing wrong. No, he's down on the apron. He's out of the way.
He's not on the apron, but he's in the bottom lane.
But
Yeah.
people
And it's split the
moved.
middle.
People moved. He was over the double yellow.
No, he wasn't. No, he was on bottom lane. They were
Was
in the
he?
corner. They were in
Yeah,
the corner.
they
He was on the bottom
They
lane.
faded up,
Either way,
got around him, and came
they
back down.
they go around him, and then it just the slinky effect kind of happened.
Yeah,
and then the charge comes back through. This car bumps. This car bumps. This car bumps. This car, and then Cindric.
You
gets
had the
launched.
Fords on the bottom lane. It was Cindric, Keselowski, Logano, and Harrison.
Harrison. Then the 14 was
then
behind
the 14 was
Harrison.
behind him. So there was a slinky effect that started with the 6, and it basically bunched everybody behind Cindric in that low lane up, and he got out, what, a car and a half, maybe 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Brad, I mean, same thing with the Bowman, what we talked about with the Bowman incident. All that energy is now being pushed forward. The 21's pushing the 22, who's pushing the 6, and even if the 6 is letting off, it's too goddamn late.
Brad put up SMT, and he was on the brakes.
Yeah.
Like he was dragging a little bit of brake at that time.
And just like the Blaney wreck,
I am wrong. He was above the line.
Yeah. He hit the 12, or he hit the 2 square. That was not a bad bump draft, but it was just, there was so much energy behind it
Yeah.
that it probably lifted his fucking rear wheels off the ground, shoots Cindric up into the door of the 47. More on that later.
Yep.
And then just all hell breaks loose. I mean, that
Literally
I have
breaks
never.
loose.
Denny said it because now Denny was the one. He took 2 tires on that last pit stop, and he lost the draft because he had nose damage, and they didn't know how bad it was because he was in the middle of the field the whole time. As soon as he got out by himself, he said leaving pit road, he was just watching the cars drive away from him, and he was like, "Uh-oh."
Well, that's like Logano. Logano got damaged in the Blaney wreck,
Yeah.
and his entire splitter was taped up off the ground. He was leading the pack at one point.
So Denny is like, I think he was a full street. He was like a mile behind this. And he said he saw the smoke, got out of it. And he said when he got to the entrance of the corner, he saw all the skid marks. And he went, holy shit, that's a lot of cars. Because you could just tell by all the skid marks. Yeah, 28 cars. I mean, there was no... The only people that got out of it were the 5 cars in front of it and Denny, who was a mile behind it.
I think the 20 skated through somehow. Bowman came spinning through like a freaking Beyblade.
Me and Steph were watching it, and I'm like, look at Bowman. It's like he's not hitting anything, but he's just going, wee!
He got hit on every corner.
But not, you said it was by a feather duster.
Yeah, it was like he got bumped on every corner, which just propelled his spinning, which just like perfectly skated him around every car. He straightens out, boom, he's gone.
Yeah.
And everybody behind him, I mean, Chase, firewall deep into the inside wall.
He didn't hit as hard as I thought he did. Until
It looked much gentler on
the onboard
than it did looking at the damage of the car.
Logano smoked the inside wall. What killed me, once again, for 3 races in a row, we had an ARCA break. Did anyone see Hemrick?
Oh, I saw it live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can miss the wrecks. You can drive through it.
think
No,
I
you
put
can't.
that immediately on Discord. I was
Dude.
like, Hemrick thought he could drive through the smoke.
He
could not.
never lifted, put it against the wall, and then all of a sudden the 2 car was in front of him, and he buried Cindric.
Yeah.
It was carnage. There was cars everywhere.
Everyone stayed on the ground. The 2, I think, might have proven that whatever they did to the underbody
I
worked.
think-
Because the 2 lifted off like 6 inches and then came right back down.
I think what proved what they did, because we didn't even talk about this, they didn't run the big roof blade that goes through the windshield, but they added roof rail extensions and a piece of fabric where the roof flap flips up to basically create a parachute, and there was a little extension on the rockers on the.
Yeah,
This is all
which
on the passenger.
I think the rocker was the big change.
This is all on the passenger side. I think the wreck that proved it worked was Suarez, because Suarez snapped around, and I feel like in the past that looked like a LaJoy wreck, or when you snap around at speed and you're backwards, you go over. That car never even attempted
Thought
to
about
lift
it,
off the
yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
Logano got up in the air a little bit, but that's because the 2 hit his rear wheel and broke everything.
Yeah.
Snapped the
I think-
wheel off,
I think
though.
his wheel went underneath
and
the
it
car.
just bounced it up.
Kind of like, was that Busher?
Yeah.
At,
Pretty
was
much
that
what it looked
Charlotte?
like, yeah.
When he broke the
So-
suspension, it went under the car and propelled
It was just an absolute parking lot. Like, I didn't even realize how bad it was till I saw one of the replays of the overhead shot, and I just went, oh my God.
It was absolutely insane.
It's just the optics of the smoke clears in half the field is just sitting on the apron.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, like, we've seen bad wrecks in the past, and even Dale Earnhardt, after rolling his car, gets back in it and drives it away. No one could drive away.
Yeah, so now we get into the other
no
talking.
no interliners. That's why.
Now we get into the other talking point of the weekend. That is
a lot of things with these cars.
Yeah, there's the lawsuit, and then NASCAR just fucking themselves up again.
This is the most ridiculous thing.
I was
So why is this dinging? It's all
Okay.
vibrate.
I was still scared. I keep thinking it's the stream dying again.
No, it's me.
I didn't even know about some of the stuff that people are complaining about until I listened to podcasts this morning, because I guess I just had half paying attention. I was mad about the 2 things: the towing of cars back to pit road after last week or the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I was mad about what they've created, because when the smoke cleared, how many guys were sitting in their cars saying, "Nope, I can continue. I could continue, and refusing to get out of their cars. The one that struck me the most was Logano. They cut to his in-car. He's sitting there, window net up, looking around like, give me a tow. His radiator or oil cooler has already puked its contents everywhere. We watched in the replay, that rear wheel was connected by a thread. There was nothing holding that rear. That wasn't just a tow link. That was an upper, a lower, a shock, a hub. That was everything.
They're also in a very bad spot, so they might not have been able to see it.
But you had out of the 28 cars that were involved, you had probably 10 to 12 guys just sitting in their cars waiting for pushes. They don't have enough tow trucks to do that. So now we're sitting here in limbo waiting for them to pull Chase Elliott out for him to push his snowplow across the grass, make it 100 feet, and then realize, I guess I am broken. I need a tow, which should mean you're out of the race, right?
No,
According
it doesn't.
At Watkins Glen, we watch Ryan Blaney. Probably fixable. Nope, you were in contact out of the race.
NASCAR made a new rule. Didn't tell anybody, but if you have a yellow window banner, they will drag you back to your pit stall.
Yeah, so then we talked about it last week. Josh Berry gets 4 flat tires. That car's perfectly fine. Nope. What did they say? Did you see the thing, which I never knew this? Did you see what came out last week? I think it was Elton Sawyer or somebody was on Sirius. They had said that they have like a sensor in the car that detects if they had contact. It's like, I forget what he called it, but it's like almost like a black box, like in a plane. And they said that pinged and that went off, and that means he had significant enough contact to be on DVP.
Really?
I did not know that was a thing. I'll have to find it, but I saw it somewhere. It was weird.
Get rid of that sensor.
So keep going.
So this
Get
is
to
now,
it.
yeah. So now Josh Berry's out of the race last week with a perfectly fine car that just needed tires
Yeah,
on.
it has a donut on the door and 4 flat tires.
Yeah. Now we get to this race. Now you've got Chase Elliott, whose nose is completely stoved in. Chase Briscoe has a broken toe link and a bunch of other messed up parts. Who else got towed back? A couple cars got towed back.
Harrison Burton,
his car was fucked. And they're towing all these guys back to their pit boxes. What they should have done with Ryan Blaney at Watkins Glen and Josh Berry at Kansas. But instead, those guys were out of the race. Josh Berry stuck sitting in the campground having a pig in a blanket with some dude in a camper. And these guys are getting towed back. That was the first egregious thing. That I was like, where's the consistency? We say it on here all the time. Just be consistent.
there's another one that came out today too.
I know. There's a couple. Fuck, I had a train of thought. It's gone. Son of a bitch. It's just the consistency. Oh, no. Well, last week.
Talking about the flags?
No, I'm getting there. As much as last week was bad with Josh Berry, as much as it looked awful, they called it by the rule.
Yes.
Technically, they were
Same with the 43
correct.
last week.
The 43. Same with Blaney at Watkins Glen. We may not like it. We may not agree with it, but that's the rule. Now when you flip it and now you're towing Chase Elliott back and you're towing Chase Briscoe back, Denny said it best. He goes, you open that up. You know, you got all these he said it. He goes, all the conspiracy theorists in NASCAR think that there's favoritism. All you did was make them look right.
Yeah.
All you did was make them look.
The broadcast made it look even worse because they're on Briscoe's radio saying, nope, don't let him do it. Yeah. Don't get out. Then make them push you. 30 seconds later, there's a clip of Chase Elliott stuffed in the nose, and they're pushing him across the grass. Like, Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah, like I said, it looked like a snowplow. So they pushed them back to the pits. We are under a red flag at this point. Cars are stopped, I think, in 2. It's a melee in turn 3.
Yeah. Before you get to that, I'm perfectly fine with the call on Blaney and Berry because that is the rule.
Yes.
Now you completely go backwards on it, you shoot yourself in the face.
Yeah,
it looks so much worse. And that, I didn't even notice. I kind of noticed this while watching the race last night, but it didn't register until I heard Gluck and Bianchi talking about it today. So they're under a red flag for like 12 minutes or something stupid like that. They push those cars back to the pits. Then all of a sudden, the graphic on my screen is showing caution. And I'm like, oh, I guess we're rolling again. The cars are still stopped. They're sitting there. They're not moving. Pace car's not moving. From the time they went from red to yellow till the green flag was 25 minutes.
So according to DBC, obviously these guys are wearing headsets at the track. The first rule breaking was a couple weeks ago. I think it was Reddick got penalized or disqualified or had to park it because during a red flag, he drove his car back to his pit stall. During a red flag, you were not allowed to move.
Supposed to stop. Yeah.
Well, during this red flag, they're now towing cars back to their pit stalls. How is that any different than driving your car back to your pit stall? So they lift the red flag, I think, in response to that. Is we know that's not allowed, so we're going to lift the red flag So these guys are allowed to be towed back to their pit stalls.
Well, and
But
I was going to add to Yuri because you said you think that's why. I think Gluck or one of them said it on their show that they lifted it because they thought that the cleanup was about done.
they did. That's where it gets fuzzy.
Yeah.
Because Freddie said that was what they said. They're like, oh, we thought the track was clear. We determined it's not. But Freddie said they also said as soon as they went, all right, flagman, bring out the yellow flag, pace car, don't move, in the same sentence.
Oh.
So that was an immediate reaction that they claimed after the fact was, oh, we made a mistake lifting the red, and we're not allowed to go back to red.
Why are you not allowed? It's your sport.
So that's
Just do it.
so now they're towing cars back to the pits. Guess what? The guys that are already in the pits can now work on their cars.
And not go laps down.
Meanwhile, there's 20 cars stuck on the backstretch still that need tows. So either allow them to tow them back to their pit stall, but tow everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be a single car stuck on the inside of that track when they lift that red flag.
Yep.
Unless the driver's out of the car and they're hooking it up. But if there are cars on that backstretch that are still able to drive and just waiting for a tow, you should not be lifting the red flag because that is an unfair advantage. Brett talked about it because he spotted for AJ.
Yes.
AJ went down 2 laps with
Waiting.
4 flat tires just waiting to get towed. So that was after the initial red flag, after 3 or 4 guys had already been towed back, after they lifted the red flag, went to yellow, pace car never moved, and now 20 minutes later, pace car's moving, he's still waiting to get towed, and now he's getting lapped. Meanwhile, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Briscoe, the 21, whoever, are all sitting on pit road fixing their cars and or done fixing their cars before the pace car ever moved.
Yeah, and they're not getting lapped. They're not.
Yeah, they're not losing any positions, not getting lapped.
Yep.
So they handled everything so badly, and I would be okay with 50% of it if on Wednesday Elton Sawyer came out and said, we looked at what happened with the 4-car at Kansas, and we determined we no longer want that to happen. We're going to change.
You're talking last Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to change the rule, so now they will, under certain circumstances, we will tow these cars back and inspect them.
Even if they just said super broad, when we see fit, we
Right.
will tow someone back. Basically saying, we know this rule. Like, the rule's old.
Yeah.
It's an old rule. It's finally coming to light, and they don't know what the fuck to do with it. We were talking about it on Discord. When the next gen came out and they were stuck with flat tires, NASCAR was band-aiding it by just towing them and letting them do it.
Yeah, I think the first step was they shortened the rub blocks.
Well, no, the beginning of this, if you're in a wreck and you can't move, you're out. That's how the rule has always been. But with the next gen car, the beached whale problem, they were band-aiding the car problem by breaking their own rule,
Which we were
and
seeing
they
this
broke
as early
their.
as
Let me finish. No. They broke their own rule long enough that people were like, "Well, that's normal."
Yes.
It's not. That's been the rule the whole time. But now they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do we go back to enforcing our original rule, which they did with Blaney and Barry, because that's the original rule?
Out of nowhere.
They threw a fucking fit about it, but it is the rule.
Yeah.
They broke it themselves. Then they brought it back, and then they broke it again.
Well, and like Norm was
So it's like, is it the rule or not?
And it's like Norm was saying, if they would have come out last Wednesday and been like, all right, we're going to, like you said, make
There's
it
an
super
asterisk
broad,
on it.
Make it super broad. But they didn't. They didn't tell anyone.
No,
Everyone
they came
was,
out
they just
last
did it.
Wednesday and went, yeah, we didn't really like how that was handled. We'll look at it in the off season.
And
then the next week they do it to 6 cars.
All these teams expected, that's why they all sat in their cars, because they're like, just push me out of the grass. Like, who was it? Jones last week.
Yeah.
Just push me out of the grass and I'll be fine. And that's why everybody sat there, and it was a giant clusterfuck. And then Elton comes out after the race and is like, yeah, we didn't. Basically, what you said he should have said on Wednesday. He's like, we didn't really like what happened with the Barry call in Kansas last week, so we decided to err on the side of competition, and we don't want good race cars getting knocked out.
That would have been perfect ahead of time.
Why didn't you say that last
But
week?
this is also a case, playing devil's advocate, this is also another case of you give the teams an inch, they're going to take a mile.
Yeah.
Chase was wrecked Joey's wheel was
Destroyed.
gone. Nope, I just need a push. It's just the tires. It's just the tires. It's not the tires.
I haven't watched it yet because we're recording, but someone just posted in Discord, the guy, was it Basso or Brasso or whatever, the guy that posts all the onboards.
Yeah.
Apparently we have a volume 2 of Joey screaming at tow truck drivers to hook him up.
Nice.
So
I look forward to
apparently,
that. I look forward to
So,
that.
but he was sitting there. So
yeah.
that means if he's screaming at the officials to give him a push, dude, your car's destroyed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But he's not going to get out until he 100% knows that his car's fucked.
Yeah.
And
NASCAR, they've now opened Pandora's box
created a
in
problem.
multiple directions. They need to close it.
Yeah, 100%.
One way or the other.
I wonder if Suarez, who spun on lap 12, if he blew all 4 tires and got beached, which I honestly think he used the air jacks, and that's the first time
No,
I
the
think I've
officials
seen it.
the officials never got over to him. He drove away from that.
No, I saw him waving his
Was
hand
he?
at them, and then
He got pushed.
They cut to him later
Oh, he did
on
get pushed. You're right.
into the pits, and it looked like the back of his car was 3 inches high. But
I
either
don't-
way, what I
ahead.
want to say is, if he blew all 4 tires, what do you think NASCAR would have done? I think they would have done exactly what they did to the 4 car last week.
Yeah.
I think he was towed and done. But NASCAR's looking at turn 3 with 5 laps to go, and there's 27 cars sitting on the apron.
he got pushed because he couldn't get it to start.
That's right.
But-
I will say you said you have not seen the air jacks yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the video I posted. RFK put out Buescher's onboard. It's RFK. It's comical. Like there's a point where he's pulling out of the grass and the caption just says struggling Buescher noises.
Yeah.
But in that video, they activate the air jacks. It's got the onboard camera on the TV panel and you see it go, psh, it goes up.
I think Suarez, I think they used him early in the race. and
Maybe.
they just didn't draw any attention to him. But I genuinely think it was because there was 28 freaking cars sitting on the infield that NASCAR went, all right,
We can't have 5
we
cars.
can't freaking tow all these to the garage
Yeah.
right now. That's going to look really dumb.
Yeah. It was just
So-
such a mess. And it's a mess that they created. I've never seen such a cluster. Granted, yes, biggest wreck in the modern era. We've seen really big ones that have been cleaned up like that because we don't have these problems. We don't have people that think they can make it back that can't. I mean, look at Chase. They pushed him out of the grass. He made it, halfway down the backstretch and then stopped and they had to tow him. So we wasted all that fucking time when you could have just been hooked up to begin with and towed.
Yep.
You know? It's just it's a problem that they have created that, like you said, they need to figure this out. I don't think they're going to do shit. I bet you in the offseason they will actually do something. But
I mean, I think I said this early on, and they kind of talked about this because I think they kind of enabled it in qualifying or something. But they just need mobile pit crews.
yeah.
Go out there, send fucking 4 Tundras out there with tires in the back of them, and have these guys jump out and throw some freaking wheels and tires on these things so they can drive them back.
Yep.
Make the wheels bright blue so we know they can't drive
They're
on
the
them.
temp wheels.
These are freaking space-saving spare tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But give them, I mean, that's got to be quicker than towing them. Or invest in these trailers that lay flat.
Something.
So you can just freaking suck it onto a trailer. Get the freaking crane trucks from F1 and crane them and freaking drop them in the claw in pit road. Like, there got to be something faster.
Yeah.
Because even the steps towing with the freaking
The
engine hoist that they got hanging off the back thing, that should be fast, and it isn't.
It's not. It's fast to hook them up, but then they drag them back and
Yeah.
destroy the car.
Right. So it was an absolute nightmare, leading to an overtime finish.
Where nothing
Which,
really
by
happened.
the way, because this was such a mess, NASCAR missed the winning car,
Being illegal.
which had illegal damage on it.
Did you know this? Did you
Yeah.
hear anything about this? Okay. Yeah.
So I noticed it, and I was like, I feel like I should draw attention to this, but I'm like, I'm not even going to bother because there's so many rules, and they apparently change every 3 laps. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure door foam, and you cannot have a hole in the body
he had
of
a
the car.
hole in the door, and the door
But
foam
door
was
foam
missing.
is supposedly required,
That is a safety issue. That is
Yes.
like racing with a broken roll bar.
Yep.
which also they let Brad Keselowski do at Watkins
It
Glen.
was dented. It wasn't broken.
There was
It
a
was cracked.
Ricky had a donut that was more of a can opener.
Well, because Cindric hit him. I mean, that was a hard hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But ultimately, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. takes the checkered flag, followed by Brad Keselowski, who also had an illegal car that didn't get disqualified.
Yeah, Denny snitched on everybody because the first I heard of it was Denny's podcast this afternoon.
Yeah.
Apparently, the 6 and the 17 both were missing part of these new roof rails, these extendo roof rails.
Yep.
Did you see the picture that was posted on our Discord?
No.
Sanchez, I think it was Sanchez posted.
I was just looking through the tagged photos of RFK if I could zoom in on anything that showed them just flat out missing.
Where did he put
But-
it? I think
Like Denny said on his podcast, they disqualified Kevin Harvick last year for missing a bolt in the windshield last year, and RFK is flat out missing the fins on the roof at the end, both cars, and just let it go.
Denny was
I didn't
like,
see that.
Denny was like, there is no way that is a coincidence that both RFK cars were missing.
Oops, they flew off.
I have to find the picture. I don't remember where Joe put it, but it's so that came all the way to the windshield. I think on the 6 car, like half of it's missing. There's a little piece in the back that's still there. I forget which friggin'
What a mess.
page he put it in, but
What a mess. But either way, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. plays spoiler yet again. We do not have a playoff winner in this round yet.
And probably like the least eventful green-white checker I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yep.
Like after that massive wreck, all the drama from the red/yellow flag,
here it is.
and we get a green-white checker at Talladega. Should be the craziest freaking thing we've ever seen. And they just went 2x2 to the finish.
Yeah.
And I was
So-
I was so amped up from that wreck. and
Zoom
it
in on the
just-
6 and the 17, and then look at the other cars around them. Look at the front of that roof blade. If you zoom in, you can see it clear as day. Now look at
Jesus.
Now look at the 8 next to. You can see what it's supposed to look like.
Oh, yeah.
And the 17's harder to see because there's a car behind him, but he's missing the exact same spot.
How convenient. So obviously Ricky Stenhouse plays spoiler again, getting his 4th career victory all on
Super
one of
Speedway,
2 tracks.
He's got 2 at Daytona, 2
To
at Talladega.
Yep. So taking a look at the playoff standings as we are now, Byron is officially locked into the next round on points alone. Christopher Bell, second, 57 points up. He's in great shape. No problems there. Larson, 52 points up after not wrecking at Talladega for probably the first time ever.
Proud of
and
him.
a top 5.
Proud of him.
I don't think he's ever had a top 10.
Denny Hamlin, 30 points to the good. I would say all of them are in pretty safe territory.
That wreck saved Denny's ass.
Big time.
Because he was a mile behind the pack, basically running in dead last. I think when the wreck happened, he was like 17 points below the cut line. And that caution comes out, that wreck happens, boom, he's 30 points above the cut line.
It was awesome.
In
For
one
him.
corner.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but like, that's
a win.
he started calling that dog Lucky now because he's like, she's
Well-
bringing me luck.
I think he earned it because Toyota fucking boned him. The 70 points that they lost
true,
or whatever the hell
true.
it was from
Yeah.
Toyota screwing
Not
up
to
and then
mention them-
ratting on themselves.
Them boning him again in Atlanta and giving him the 4-cylinder.
Yes. Yeah, I got the super
Yeah,
motor.
I think he earned that one.
Yeah.
Bowman's 26 points up. Pretty good shape for a guy that's very good at the Roval.
Yep.
Blaney, 25 points up despite being wrecked out.
Also, that wreck saved his ass because he was never below the cut line, but he was flirting with like single digits above.
Yeah.
That wreck happened.
Bowman? No, he was below a couple
no,
times while
Blaney.
running. Oh, Blaney, yeah.
Blaney was, I don't think he was ever below the cut line after his wreck, but he was flirting with single digits above.
Yeah.
Soon as that wreck happens and all the playoff guys are involved, boom, he's back up to, what is he, 25?
Well, a lot of the race, too, Cindric was leading.
Yes,
So the playoffs were really tough to watch because he was like trickling above and below the cut line.
I love that they show us.
Let me finish the rundown and keep going.
I love that. Sorry, go ahead.
Reddick's
Dan got yelled
14 up. Elliott's 13 up. Then we see the cut line. Logano's 13 down.
Ugly.
Suarez 20 below. Cindric 29 below. And Briscoe 32 below.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I love that they show the playoff rundown. I think we can skip it at Talladega because it never stopped moving.
Yeah, like
and I would
maybe just
rather
at the end
see
of stages.
I would rather see the lineup at a different track. Like when we go to Homestead, I love it. When we go to
This weekend at
this
Roval?
weekend, I'll love it. But Talladega, when they're running 4x4, 20 rows
And it's
deep,
just going,
the
choo,
fucking
choo,
thing's
choo,
all
choo,
over the
choo,
place.
choo,
I was like,
choo.
can we just have a whole lineup, please? Thank you.
Yeah. Whoever's got to man that thing, it's like, just let it go.
As far as the playoffs go, like I said, the Xfinity Series, very volatile.
Yeah.
That we could see 8 people switch positions at the Roval in the Xfinity
Easily,
Series.
yeah.
Cup Series, I think we have 3 must-wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when I was saying that the gap is big here,
Yeah.
that it's not as exciting as
I think
Xfinity will be.
Suarez, Cindric, Briscoe, all must-wins.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Logano, he could have a perfect day and maybe lock himself in.
Maybe.
But we just don't have.
But
the
who
ex-
comes out?
Somebody
Right.
has to have a
The
problem.
Xfinity Series, it is so easy for AJ and SVG to get points because they're so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they are almost guaranteed to be top 3 in each stage.
So-
Logano, even on a perfect day, could be 7th in both stages.
Blaney being 25 points to the good in 6th place, I think he's in pretty decent shape. As long as he just survives, he's fine. I think the ones we have to talk about is 7th and below.
Right.
Reddick is 14 points to the good. That's not safe, but he's also very good at road courses. But they did not show up to the last road course at all.
They didn't show up to the last couple races that they were supposed to be good at.
Exactly. So I want to say I'm confident in Reddick because it's a road course, but I'm not at all.
No.
Because they haven't shown up in weeks. Chase Elliott used to be amazing on road courses.
Not on this car.
Not in this car.
He went from the king of road courses to, is he any good at road courses?
He hasn't really done shit.
I mean, outside of
this generation.
Indy last year when he was chasing McDowell.
Yeah.
That's the only good race, really, that I can remember that he's had. Like, memorable, almost won it kind of race.
And then Logano, I don't see a way in for him. I really don't. He's got to
has
win.
to have a problem.
He's got to not flip the stages and then pray.
Or
like I think it's,
somebody in front of him like a Reddick or a Chase, or they have to have like a big problem early.
Or he has to just go out there and just start dumping people.
I think it's possible.
He'll have the opportunity.
I think it's very possible
He's
for
good at
Reddick to win both stages. Mm-hmm. I think if anyone in this field can do that, it's Reddick. But we saw at Watkins Glen with Bowman and a couple of these other guys. You stage race, you're finishing in the high teens at the end of this race. You can't do what AJ and SVG, what we expect them to do, and you get stage points, and then you freaking drive your way back up into the top 5.
Yep.
You can't do that in the Cup Series.
No.
So you're either going for the win or you're going for stage points. In stage points, you're maybe going to get 35 points, 40 points. So I just don't see as big of a swing in the Cup Series. I think the 2 bottom guys are in danger of getting knocked out, and I think only Joey has a chance of pointing his way.
I agree.
Yes. But he has to play the opposite strategy of other people.
Yeah.
He has to play, or are they going for the win or are they stage racing? But I think if you're Reddick or above, I think if you're above the cut line at all, you take the stage points.
Yeah.
If people start flipping to win, you're like, okay, I'll take the 10 plus the 1 that I could take with me into the next round. If I'm Bowman, I'm staying out and taking as many points as I possibly can and pray for a stage win because he doesn't have many points that carry over.
Have William Byron.
He has like 2.
Christopher Bell, probably Kyle Larson going for the win. They probably don't have to worry about stage points. So they're probably going to just go, you know what? I'd rather get points at the end of this race.
Yeah.
So that's going to almost make stage points even easier for these guys that need them. Reddick, Bowman.
Bowman needs points to carry through because he's only got 6.
If Blaney, Bowman, and Hamlin get any points in stage 1, say they finish 7th or above, I'm willing to bet they almost lock themselves in.
Yeah.
Probably.
If they get any points, because that's taking points away from the guys who need it.
Yeah.
Just looking at Bowman, if he does advance to the next round, which as long as he has a halfway decent day, he will. He should stay out and try to win stages to get points because the next closest person to him has 14 points and he has
Bowman's
6.
going in with what, 6?
6.
Yeah, because he had 2 stage wins and then the 5 for the win.
One stage
just
win
the
and the
5
and the win.
one stage from last week.
Shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Didn't he win a stage like last week?
That was the first stage
That's
of the
only
year.
one.
Fuck.
He
You're
didn't
right.
win a stage at Chicago.
You're right.
Won Chicago, won the stage last week.
That's
That's
right.
it.
Yeah,
so
Cindric
going
came
into
in with
next
more bonus
round,
points than him.
he's going to be in the fucking toilet.
Yep.
He's already going to be 10 points behind.
Yep. I think this new configuration is going to be wild too, looking at that turn 7.
Yeah.
Because I have a good and bad feeling because it'll be interesting for us to watch. Woo! In the stands. But it'll also be annoying. It looks to me like a Coda Indy turn 1.
Right,
Could be a
there's
mess.
there's no run up.
There's no run up, and apparently the actual line you have to take, from what I've read from a couple things, is you have to stay really wide, and then kind of cut in.
And it kind of like for the wall, it kind of dips into and kind of funnels it
I
down.
just saw your story post. The stream went down while we're talking about the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Weird.
So I think Xfinity is going to be a crazy race. There's going to be a crap ton of wheel hopping into that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Those cars are going to be all out of shape when they get on the bank. And Cup cars, the brakes are so freaking good.
Yeah.
That the Cup cars, we might have a couple guys lock them up.
Yeah.
We might have a couple guys bump into each other, but I don't think we're going to see that mayhem.
I
that
think
we
we
would
will
see at Coda or Indy because they're going to be going 90 into that corner instead of
they're
140.
going to be hauling ass, going around 5, 6, and then down that hill. They're going to be moving. I think they're going to be going faster than you think they are.
Yeah. All right, let's do some questions, shall we?
Yeah, if you're one of the 5 people in the chat that's not us, feel free to leave questions now.
Yeah. All right, Jared B. Media, most anticipated part of Roval weekend.
Getting there.
Yeah, seeing the car.
Seeing the car,
Yeah, seeing
Brad.
Brad's car.
I was talking to Kyle because we were kind of talking about what we're doing, this weekend, how we're going to be pretty busy all weekend. I want to be at the track all freaking day on Saturday because we've never been there when we're a sponsor. I want our friends that are coming with us that have VIP passes I want them to see pit stops. I want them to, sit on the pit box for practice. You know what I mean? I want the full fucking experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good thing it's not what you want.
I am more looking forward to Saturday. You want the same thing. I think I'm more looking forward to Saturday than I am Sunday.
Usually are.
I think.
Honestly, you know what's funny about the Brad situation too? The fact that he seemingly doesn't have a lot of sponsors makes us slightly more important
Yeah, we're cooler.
around the car because it's like
We're the only ones that showed up.
we're not getting outshined by the hood and the quarter panels and stuff like that. Yeah, we're the big one on the trunk. We're the main sponsor.
Big spenders. Please send Kyle money.
Yeah, because these two idiots didn't.
We round it out at the end.
Yeah, we wait
I know.
till the donations stop
Why
coming
you-
Yeah, I just got a
Why are you
bankroll.
shaming us on this public platform in front of 11 people?
Of course you have to bankroll it. You're the one with a bankroll. I can't give you something I don't have.
What's 50% of nothing?
Fucking nothing.
Told you, man, I can't afford it.
Jed Daly, Dan, you're a hard man to love.
I know. I love you, though. He's mad at me because he's coming here for lemons, and I'm going to be gone.
All right.
Oh, is that this weekend?
No, it's a couple weekends when I'm gone for 2
Maybe
weeks.
I'll go visit him and we'll talk.
Jet
shit
just
about
goes off. Thought we were going to see a Ricky Bobby foot race to the finish there for a minute, especially
Yep.
since NASCAR can't make up its mind on its rules. It's like fighting with my wife.
it. I mean, Logano and Cindric pretty much had a Ricky Bobby foot race for me and Kyle.
Yeah.
Davo44, 18 different winners this season, only one more, and we tie the all-time record. Yeah.
No, I thought 18 tied it. I think it's not. I think one more and it sets a new one, I think.
Are we counting Austin Dillon, so?
Ooh.
It counts as a win.
Counts
Yeah.
as a win.
Yeah.
A win's a win.
Sam Valley 95, if you get a chance in Charlotte, check out the Hall of Fame. It's awesome.
Kyle already has been, and the two of us will not have time.
Yeah, I think Kyle set up a temporary office there one time.
Yes.
I did, yeah.
It's very importante.
Muy importante. All right. L98 Jake with a couple. Was it just me, or did the Xfinity race just not feel like Talladega for some reason?
Yeah, it did.
I thought it was pretty okay.
I thought it was all right. I didn't see any problems with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I always forget how wide it is, though. After watching Daytona a couple weeks ago, and then you go to Talladega, and it's like,
Yeah,
holy
I think
shit.
I think Daytona races a little better with the Xfinity cars.
I kind of agree with you.
Maybe there's just too much room at Talladega for
Maybe.
those little Matchbox cars they got.
It's so funny. I was just gonna say that, when you watch the two different races, I was watching some highlights today on the way here, and just looking at the two different cars on the exact same track, it's insane.
yeah, they're so
you,
little.
you don't realize how wide the Cup cars are
Oh,
until
yeah.
you look at the two different races side by
I
side.
did, before we continue with questions, I did want to bring up, I forgot to bring it up a minute ago. Did you see the stat after yesterday that no team has won more than one race since the Olympic break?
Yep, I saw that.
Every race has been won by a different team.
That's cool.
So there hasn't been two Hendrick cars. There hasn't been two Gibbs cars. It's every race
No
since
shit.
the Olympic break has been won by a different team.
That's cool.
It was actually pretty wild. I'm thinking back. I'm like, holy
no shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks
Is
for that.
there-
That was good. I like that.
Is there Cup practice on Saturday at the Roval?
Yes, we
Yes.
have a long one. They're doing it like they did at Watkins Glen in Chicago, where each run group gets a 20-minute practice and they stagger. So Group A goes out for 20 minutes, Group B goes out for 20 minutes, Group A goes out for 20 minutes.
I
Group
just
B goes
want
out
to
for 20
post
minutes.
up somewhere. I want to watch a next gen hop a curb
Same.
because those cars are so fat and low that I just bet they're so cool watching them hop over
Yeah.
curbs.
All right.
Well, if we're on pit road, we'll be able to see the chicane.
Well, L98 Jake brings up the roof rail things as well. So we talked about that. Downriver Diecast with a couple. What are we looking forward to most about Charlotte? Same thing. Roof rails, same thing. Okay. Is there a souvenir you guys look for when you go to a new track?
This
Kyle
year,
does his.
yeah, Kyle's got his pin.
Yep, I do pins
For me-
for every race I go to.
For me this year, because this is the first time I've gone to new tracks since the first time we went to Pocono, I like getting whatever the event shirt is. So I got like my Daytona 500 shirt. I'm wearing my Coda shirt right now. I'm gonna look for a Roval.
Which one did you get again?
The gray one.
Show me the.
Yeah, it's great with the
graphic
green all over it.
Oh, the Echo Park ones they
Echo.
gave us.
No, I wear that shirt to bed. That shirt's destroyed.
Thing's gross.
Oh yeah.
That's the one with the Toyota on it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Both
Not
my
the
shirts
fake
have
one.
Yeah,
fucking
I bought
Toyotas on them.
I don't really like get all up in arms about buying stuff like that, but I did. This was my first ever Daytona 500. I was buying a goddamn Daytona 500 shirt.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
and I wore that thing to now the sleeves are all stretched out in
Yeah.
and shit like that. And I kept wearing it to work. I was like, I gotta save this shirt.
Sleeve of Wizard.
I'm probably gonna do the same thing. I'll probably grab
But
whatever
Charlotte-
the event shirt that I
Yeah.
like is.
Am I gonna buy a Bank of America Roval shirt? Probably not. Am I gonna buy a shirt that says Charlotte Motor Speedway on it? You're darn tootin'.
Yeah.
Darn tootin'.
Darn tootin'.
I hope the Daytona hoodie that Steph and I have.
Yes.
I hope they have a Charlotte one that's
sure
exactly
they
the
do.
same. I just want to say thing.
Yeah, I'll be looking at stuff because, like I say, every time we've gone to the track this year that I'm done buying merch, then we show up and guess what? There's new merch. So,
Yeah, every time we go to the Classics Hall, our boys get something
Yeah,
new, and I'm
Brandon-
like, all right, whatever.
dude, we're going to go to the Classics Hall and Brandon's going to be throwing shit at
You know what
us.
we should
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
I should have ordered like 15 Lucis Fast hats.
And just had him put him in the...
Just sneak them up on the shelf when no one's looking.
Shit!
How much for this hat? There's not a price. I don't know what hat that is.
I'm excited to see him. It's funny, I've been seeing a lot of him. I'm in that Corey fan group on Facebook. He's in there because he drives the Classics Hauler. So
Oh, no shit.
all the Corey fans know him from being the guy that sells the Corey merch when he was with Spire. So he's in that group. So he posts shit all the time in there. And I'm like, I know him. I'm going to see him this
We
weekend.
need some 51 merch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you,
Corey posted that jersey.
bro,
Bought it.
the Easter egg
Yeah.
of, so instead
Don't
of,
say it. Don't tell people.
Okay. You
Make
gotta
them
find the
Make
Easter-
them go find it, so then they'll buy it.
go find the Stack
welcome,
and
Corey.
Pennies uniform shirt. And when you find the Easter egg on it, let us know because it's
Yeah, it's a
fucking
little
great.
Easter egg to Corey's 2024 full-time plans.
Aw,
2025 full-time plans.
that's rude. All
out.
right, Downriver Diecast. Random question: who do you guys have in the MLB playoffs? I don't watch.
I haven't really been.
Red Sox?
I haven't been
no
paying.
idea.
They're not in it?
It's so weird. I don't pay attention to baseball unless it's like I'll watch it in the summertime if I'm bored. But like the Sox have sucked for like 3 years, so I don't even watch them. If they were in the playoffs, I'd be paying attention, but I'm not paying attention right now.
I will say Moneyball, great movie, could not give a fuck about baseball.
I love baseball. I love going to Fenway. I love going
Same.
to ball games. I enjoy on a nice summer night sitting. My dad does it all the time, just sitting down watching a ball game and even on TV, just on in the background doing whatever. Like he'll have it on in the garage or whatever.
Yeah.
But October baseball is sick. Like I think the Stanley Cup playoffs are number one. They are the greatest playoffs in the top four sports. But October baseball, like playoff baseball, is fucking electric.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a
I love baseball. I played my whole life.
Same.
I was think I was halfway decent at it, and I really, really enjoyed playing, and I followed it for many, many years. But with what we do here and life, I just haven't had any time and haven't paid attention in a long time.
I haven't. Like I said, if the Sox were in the playoffs right now, I'd be watching, but I'm not. So
Yeah.
they're not.
Who would be your dream guest at your wedding? From Nathan Danforth. Dale Earnhardt.
Not possible dream guest. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Clint Boyer.
Adam Sandler.
Oh, Dale Jr. with just a cooler full of beers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dale Jr.
Jr.
with
would
a
be
cooler
fun.
full of beers.
That would be like, I don't want to be up at 3 a.m. I just spent this entire day and got married, but Dale Jr.'s like,
Another one?
Budweiser's?
Kyle,
Beers in the parking lot?
Kyle, the Instagram.
Marcus Smith just flew me in an entire cooler. We got to drink it.
The Instagram page I keep sending you, the guy's doing the look like, oh, we can't have another beer.
Yeah.
Did
That's
you see
us
the
every
one I
time.
sent you today?
No.
The wedding dance? Like, I'm definitely not going to go nuts at this wedding and dance my ass off.
I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
it's so good.
All right, Nathan Danforth. Oh, this is a good one. What is your favorite thing you've bought from Harbor Freight?
Ooh.
Everything.
I haven't bought much from there.
Okay, my favorite thing. I got a lot of stuff from Harbor Freight. My compressor. I got the big compressor. It's great. Super fucking loud. Kind of sucks, but it works. Does its job. The favorite thing I ever bought is the giant pistol grip spotlight. I use that shit every night when I take the dog out because we're right on the water and we got a lot of woods and stuff.
Yeah, you've seen
animals.
the flashlight I have to use for my dogs.
Well,
I woke
we've
my
had
neighbors up the
a
other night.
really big pair of coyotes coming through. Big
Do they make noise where you are?
Oh, yeah.
Because I literally didn't want to go outside last night because it sounded like 40 coyotes were 100 feet from my house, and the dogs are like, "We gotta go pee," and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
but it
wanna
was
go out there.
Hold it.
It was like Black Friday, and I bought the pump jack rollers.
Yes.
They slide on the wheels
Yep.
and you step on them a few
Yep.
times. Bought that set, and that giant trigger flashlight was like $15 on sale on Black Friday. I was like, hell yeah, I'll get this thing. It uses the same batteries as the buffer I use. Dude, that thing is so powerful, and I use it every single day.
I mean, you saw the light that our listener and my buddy from high school, Ben, got us in that box up there, the flashlight. That thing's like a lightsaber. I love that thing. I can light up my entire yard with it. My favorite Harbor Freight things, I didn't purchase this. My dad got it for me for Christmas when I moved out. My 3-ton low pro jack.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
heavy as
an
fuck.
MVP.
It's heavy as fuck. It's not very portable. Like, I don't love taking it. It's the one I throw
Pittsburgh or
it.
Daytona?
I think it's Pittsburgh. This was, I think, pre-Daytona.
Mine's a Daytona.
This was pre-Daytona. So it was only Pittsburgh.
Right.
But like I bring it to Pocono, like I have it in case we blow a fucking tire on the camper.
Yeah.
So it's not very portable. Like it's a bitch to get in and out
You know
of the
what
truck.
I laugh
but
at?
Yeah, but it
all
works.
the people that bought those blue floor jacks,
The foldy,
blue and
the
silver
blue and silver.
ones, that are the shittiest
They
things
fold
in
in
the world.
half. The Widowmaker's better than
Oh
those
my
things.
god!
But
I watch people pull those out and like, I'm not taking you seriously.
yeah,
sir.
so I have that, which I love, and also same Black Friday, I bought a half-inch drive torque wrench for doing wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, like, fucking $10. How good can it be? I wanted to test it one day. I was at my dad's house. I had it with me in my car for some reason, and I torqued my wheels with that. And then I grabbed, he has like the $500 digital snap-on one that like vibrates and beeps when it's at torque.
Yep.
Dead nuts.
Nice.
I was like, I spent $10 on this. It was $9.99 on Black Friday.
yeah, but that's like a dead nuts for a year,
I don't care.
and
It
then
still
the
works.
spring inside stretches.
I
and
have
it's like
never,
reset.
I torque them all the time, and I have not had a wheel fall off
I
yet.
have-
No 2-week suspension for me.
I've probably spent more money at Harbor Freight than most people. My entire toolkit from my last job, my road stuff, was all Harbor Freight because I wasn't bringing Snap-on tools, Cornwall tools on the road. Somebody breaks into my van or something like that, I'd rather lose $500
Yeah.
Harbor Freight tools than $5,000 of Snap-on tools.
Yep.
So I've bought a lot of Snap-on shit. Floor jack, Daytona floor jack's great.
Harbor Freight shit.
Jack stand, what did I say?
Snap on.
I love Snap-on, dude. Pay me. Harbor Freight shit. Floor jacks, not my favorite. They haven't killed me yet.
Oh, the jack
I
stands?
keep hearing about how these things
Yeah.
keep killing people.
Mine haven't either, and I'm waiting for
I haven't
it.
got lucky yet.
Some
I've got
bull-ass shit,
four or
dude.
5 of them, and I have not had a single one fall
I
off
just
me
bought
yet.
a new set to replace those.
The cracky ones?
Yeah, I bought a new set.
You know what's the dumbest thing ever I bought from Harbor Freight and I love? My dad actually bought them. $100 ATV ramps for the bed of my truck.
I've seen those, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The trifold, so it's all one piece, so you don't have to worry about them spitting out the sides.
Yep.
They have a chain that hooks to the tailgate. I've had those things for like 8 years.
I bought my dad years ago for Christmas when
Yeah.
he was redoing the trunk floors in his GTO. The coolest fucking saw. It's an air, like it plugs into compressed air, but it has like a blade. It almost looks like a jigsaw blade, but you
Yeah,
can
it's an
like
air saw.
It's just an air saw. It's just the
Yeah.
coolest thing ever. I'm like,
The
that
most
thing's so
Yeah, I have one of
annoying
those.
sound in the world, but they are so good because they are so slow
yeah.
that it's like Sawzall kind of can get carried away with
Oh.
it. You're like, oh yeah, this is going good. Oh, it's going 60 miles an hour.
Also-
These things are so slow and precise.
That same Black Friday, I got a set of like Allen keys, but I got Allens in standard, metric, and Torx bits. Owning a Volkswagen, that Torx bit like key, like it's like the foldy out ones, so useful for like just little things on a Volkswagen.
Oh, yeah.
because everything's a Torx bit.
Yeah.
So useful. I love those things, but I can't buy my work tools at Harbor Freight because they're too crappy. Like I have my Speed Square, which is a triangle. Make it make sense. I got one at Home Depot. It's metal.
That's because you square corners.
Yeah, I know. It's metal. Like, it's a nice one. I've had the same one forever.
Yeah.
I went into Harbor Freight one day, and I was just looking at stuff, and I was like, I can't buy any of this stuff for work because it'll break. And I picked up, they have a Speed Square, and it's plastic. And I was like, yeah, look at how flimsy this. Snap! I snapped it in half. It was, the whole store, like, echoed. It was such a, I was like, just put it back down and walked away quickly.
I mean, you say that, but it's very rare that I break something from Harbor Freight.
I'm a snob when it comes to my work
Sockets.
tools.
I used to use a 21 mil chrome 3/8 socket on an impact gun every single day at Toyota.
You live dangerously, huh?
I used them because at Toyota, I found the perfect torque setting for wheels on 90% of the vehicles is a 3/8 air gun. 1/2 inch, too much.
Yep.
3/8, I could just freaking send that thing to Jupiter.
Yep.
And the chrome socket was a good test that if I'm maybe it's going a little too crazy today, maybe the air's good. That socket will explode before the gun does.
Before the gun breaks.
Or the lug nut breaks or something like that. So I went through a shit ton of 21s and I worked 100 feet from a Harbor Freight.
Oh, yeah,
So I
you
would
were
just,
right next to it.
I would
yeah.
just drive in there on my lunch break and be like, I need to warranty this. They're like, all right, aisle 7, just grab it out of the set.
Yeah.
And I would just like pop it out of the rack and be like, all right, here's all the other
Yeah, I'm a
ones.
snob with my work tools.
Well, yeah, when it's a daily, that's
Yeah.
different. But yeah, Harbor Freight got some winners. We got what do
Harbor
we got in
Freight
the
is
chat?
Harbor Freight is perfect for the tool you need now that you may never use
Yeah,
again.
and if it's just a hobby, like most of my stuff in the garage, aside from like the nice ratchets themselves, are Harbor Freight. Like
Even Harbor
sockets and
Freight,
stuff.
if you're getting like the rubber handle, not the ratchets that come in the set with the sockets.
Yeah.
But if you buy an individual ratchet, they're
icons.
fine. They're the same as not even icons, just their regular Pittsburgh ratchets. I have like 4 of them.
But it's
they're
perfect.
made by
Yeah.
the company
All right,
that makes
let's
Easy Red.
let's keep going.
But
They're fine.
no.
We talk about Harbor Freight for a half hour.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, sponsor us, please.
Yeah.
That'd be
Like I said,
awesome.
it's
Oh
perfect
my
for
god,
like
I would
the
shut that place down,
it's
dude.
perfect for like the I need a pair of snap ring pliers that I need right now and I'm probably never going to use them again.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
little dumb shit like that. It's perfect.
Yeah, I have a bunch of shit from there.
We have essentially nothing in the chat. We have one
Oh,
for Mr. DJ. What is your take on Keanu Reeves getting into racing?
it's Keanu Reeves. He's awesome.
I apparently finished. I mean, I think it was top 20 or 20 issues.
Yeah, I mean he's
he was doing like a, was it like a GR86 race or something? In
Top
Indy?
half.
I don't know. Brad got his autograph on, or no, he was going to get a picture with him, but he decided not to.
yeah, I mean he's a car guy. Jesus Christ, kind of like Tom Cruise, Where-
Gembe.
Not in my house.
where
Sorry.
Keanu Reeves.
That was aggressive on your. It
Big
was aggressive
motor-
on your part, but it was also aggressive on my part.
I was throwing it beside you to scare you, and then you just went.
All right, can we move on? We've been talking about throwing bottles for 20 minutes.
Are you getting me back for scaring you earlier?
Oh yeah, that
I
was
gave
bad.
Kyle a heart attack because he had his noise canceling headphones in. So when I walked in, I just went, "Oh yeah," and he looked up.
I jumped a fucking mile.
Darn tootin'.
Cool. Well,
That's all we got.
this upcoming weekend, we will be down in Charlotte for
Yes.
the Roval.
I wanted to bring
weekend.
this up. If you are, it seems like we have more people than I realize. I'll get a paper towel and wipe that up. So we know, like, obviously W, we're going to hang out with him. We got
Yep.
a couple other people. If you are going to be in Charlotte this weekend for the Roval, let us know. We would like to meet as many people as we can because it
let's
seems
shut down a goddamn Waffle House together, boys.
Oh yeah,
we got to find time for a Waffle House. That's all I care about.
yeah. I'll probably have gone at least twice before
at
you even get
3
there. But we're
a.m.
definitely
when
going to
we
go.
leave that super special industry
It's
party
not.
Kyle got us.
It's
into.
not. But anyway, carry on.
At 3 a.m. when we leave that thing,
Yeah.
let's shut down a Waffle House.
Let's just make sure
That-
we're not on the wrong side of the track this time.
When Brad wins, we'll take the trophy straight to Waffle House.
Yes. But yeah, let us know. I know, like, the man with the greatest Instagram or greatest Discord name we have that I'm not saying on air. He's going to be there. He's on his honeymoon.
Stomp My Pee-Pee?
Yeah, Stomp My Pee-Pee. That is a name in our Discord, so do with that what you will.
Yeah,
That's his legal name, I asked.
Jared, we'll find you this
Yeah,
weekend.
we're going to find Jared. He's going to be working, but we'll
I'm
see
pretty sure
him
you
on
have my
pit-
number. Call us.
Yeah,
text us.
we'll see him on pit road. I know who else was going to be there. Was Mike is vegan? Mike is vegan. I think was going too.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. We got a few. So if you haven't told us that you're going to be there yet, hit us up on Discord, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Let us know you're going to be there. I think Sunday we were possibly planning on doing a little tailgate, and I know W was talking about it.
Yeah, we're kind of
W is going to have to supply the
Yeah,
tailgate.
we're going to be very slim on the things we can bring to the track.
Yeah, W is going to
yeah,
have
we'll
to
get like
supply
some of
it.
those foam coolers and like whatever we could purchase.
We were going to do that.
Throw out.
We were going to do that in Coda, and then we didn't. But that's what we should do. Is just
Yeah,
get-
because we were all so brutally hungover.
damn you, Coyote Ugly.
Yeah.
Damn you.
But yeah, if you're going, seriously, hop in the Discord. We have a chat specifically for at track.
Yeah, and
chat.
that'll be the easiest way for us to hook up with anybody that wants to hang out and
Yes.
say hi. So I am excited. It is T-minus 4 days till we leave. You leave on Wednesday.
Yeah,
But you're
I am-
going to Virginia, and then
I will at 48 hours from now. I will be in Richmond
you get to drive mine Porsche down
driving
to Charlotte.
uns Porsche.
Mine
Sorry,
Porsche.
officer. I thought this was the Autobahn.
I thought this was the Autobahn.
Yeah,
You
come
just
find
send
us,
a video of you
buy me a
playing
beer.
that dubstep song while you're driving down the highway.
Oh, that's the only thing I'm listening
Are
to.
you going to bring the big feather for when the cop pulls
Yeah.
you over?
I was driving way too
Fast in
fast.
mine Porsche.
Is there something my wife can do for you?
You're the
Or
wife. though,
there's
'cause it's
something I can do for
I'd say
you?
you're the wife because it's Taylor's Porsche. So
Okay, he does not have my number. I'll send you a DM.
Taylor's in the chat.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Yeah, Taylor, you're the husband in this one. so
There
if
is
you
going
get
to be
pulled
something
over-
ridiculous written on the back window of the Porsche.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it your OnlyFans?
No, it might be his.
No, it's.
He is beautiful. He is a beautiful hunk
Didn't
of
he
meat.
already tell us what he's putting on the back?
Have you
window?
seen the
Maybe he
guy? He's
just didn't
gorgeous.
Put it on Kyle's.
I used to hang out with him all the time.
Why do you think
Back
I
in
hang
the-
out with
back
him
in
all the time?
Back in the
It's beautiful.
yuppie racing days, right, Taylor?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Guy's
I
gorgeous.
can't wait for somebody to put Kyle in his place.
I like his haircut.
Mine Porsche.
Anyway, before we sign off, follow us on everything at
@loosesfast_pod on Instagram and Twitter, and the Loosest Fast podcast on YouTube. Go subscribe even if you don't watch it because it helps us.
buy yourself some merch. loosesfast.myshopify.com.
Buy stuff.
I'm Kyle Belger,
I'm Dan Walker.
Norman Pelletier.
and we'll catch you after the Roval.
We're going to be in rough shape.
Yeah, we are.
I'm at the wrong track.